Ahoy, mateys. Arr! Did you know that learning could be fun? Well, with this episode, I'm going to show you how, okay? So I'm here joined with a pirate, yes, a pirate, and also professor at a university, okay? So how are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, can you do us a big favor and introduce yourself for the show?
Sure. My name is Nathaniel Fisher, and I'm the producing artistic director of Emerald Coast Theater Company, and I'm also an adjunct theater professor at UWF.
Excellent.
And I'm Christian Williams, and I play Pirate Peter in the show The Pirate Who Learned to Say Please. I am also an actor and a senior theater major at University of West Florida.
Well, excellent. Thank you for joining the show. And my name is Valerie Bogar, and this is Insight. Well, as you can see, I'm in an outfit you're probably not used to. And I'm also part of the Emerald Coast Theater Company, which is in a show we're going to actually show you a little bit of, The Pirate Who Learned to Say Please, and I'm in it, as well with Christian Williams. But first, let's talk a little bit about the Emerald Coast Theater Company, okay? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Our mission is to enrich and entertain the Emerald Coast through educational and professional theater. And so far, we were just birthed in January of this year, and we've had a great year. We've had classes at Destin Elementary School. We've done camps, Aladdin Camp. We did a Camp Glee out at Seaside Neighborhood School. And we had two Theater for Young Audiences productions running this past summer. We had Pirate Pete in the Case of the Missing Fisherman at Harbor Walk Village. And then we had The Adventures of Andy the Angler and Captain Clyde at the Village of Baytown Wharf. So.
Oh, wow. So you did a lot of stuff, and you just started, you said January this year?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like my mom said, you really hit the ground running.
We did.
Well, excellent. And Christian, how are you involved with this program?
Well, I have been an actor for Nathaniel. This summer I was in both of the children's theater pieces. I was late to class one day, and I was like, I came from Fort Walton. And he was like, oh, well, don't be late again. Wait a minute, you came from Fort Walton? What are you doing this summer? So that's kind of how I got my gig. So,
oh, fun.
Yeah, so I've been acting with him now this summer, and am still a student of his at University of West Florida, and his employee, I guess, too.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool. I love the idea that you brought this in here. I think we met, it was a meeting, it was at Northwest Florida State College. And I think it's really awesome that you wanted to bring a theater company to this area. I think this area is, that's what we're missing here. And I think it gives this area something, else besides, because this is a beach area, so that's what we think of. But it'll be kind of nice since we're getting more and more tourists coming in the area that we can have that along here. So what is your vision really for this company?
Well, the vision is twofold. It's the educational theater aspect of things, and then the professional theater aspect of things. And so the educational side, we've established that with our camps, summer camps, and our classes, and actually we'll be continuing classes at Destin Elementary and hopefully Destin Middle School in the spring. And also we'll be adding some screen acting for teens and tweens in January, as well as a musical theater workshop. So we're real passionate about, I've just seen, being in educational theater, I've seen over and over how a child can get involved in the theater games and get involved in the community aspects of theater, and you just see their self-confidence rise, you see them start relating to kids in a new way, you see the communication factors change, and all that through playing theater games or getting on stage wearing a silly costume and, I don't know, being a pirate. But our vision for the professional side of the company is we have a collaboration with Arts and Medicine, and we're working on a show to be released in January. And I would love to see eventually Shakespeare in the Park. The Mattey Kelly Arts Foundation has a beautiful facility for something like that. We're also looking to just do family comedies or thought-provoking dramas and focused on the Destin Miramar Beach area.
That is really excellent, because the cool thing about, I was actually born in New York City, so going there to visit, it's really weird, because they're like, oh, what do you want to do? And then someone says, oh, let's go watch a show, or let's go do this. I'm like, there's always something to do every second. And here we have is food and food. So we're really known. We have good restaurants, don't get me wrong, but that's mainly what we're used to, so it's excellent that you want to bring that in, to the area, and that's really cool, because I'm like, wow, that'd be kind of cool to talk to a friend and say, hey, let's go see Shakespeare, on the green or whatever. So that would be really cool. So, Christian, what is your vision, being in this area as an actor?
Well, I've been born and raised in this area, and I've always lived here. I love this area, and like you mentioned earlier, there's not a whole lot of the performance opportunities as much as there would be in a city, obviously.
Right.
But what Nathaniel's trying to do here with Emerald Coast Theater Company and bringing family performances to the audiences here, to the tourists, I think it was a great success this summer, I would say. And my vision, I guess, is to help bring theater to an area that really needs it.
Exactly.
Because it helps, like you said, it helps everybody. It helped me. I'm still pursuing it, years later, but it helped me become who I am. And I feel like other kids and other people and other families who haven't been exposed to it yet could be exposed to it, and it would, improve, their outlook on life and things like that, and help them also the way it has helped me.
Excellent. I remember you did come to Youth Village because it was during our career summer. That was our program, and we had different people coming in. And so for your day, you came in, you talked a little bit about theater, and so the kids were like, yeah, okay, talking a little bit about theater, but it's one thing to talk about it than to do it. So I just want to let you know that the game that you showed them how to play, there was a game. It was a museum, and that's a fun game. And you can play it too at home or with your friends and family. And actually, can you tell us the rules about museum, and maybe they'll play it at their house?
Sure. Museum, it's really easy to play. You probably need, 3 or 4 at least. But one person is the curator.
Right.
And they hide their eyes or look away and count to 10. And while they're looking away, everyone else gets all the wiggles out. And when they're done, they say museum, and they have to freeze. All the statues, all the people have to freeze. And the curator walks around the museum observing the statues. And the statues try to sneak in a move while the curator's not looking.
Right.
But if the curator catches you, you're out.
And that very same game that you just explained, the kids are still playing it. Every time when it's homework time's over, like, is it free time? Is it free time? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, can we play museum? So there's kids who are new to the program that you even haven't met. They're actually teaching to the other students, so they are learning it too. And some of the students were actually very shy, so it actually helped them communicate with kids. So like you said, theater does a lot, and it definitely helps with communication, or because bullying is actually a big issue. So it actually reduces that, because usually people bully sometimes because they don't really know somebody, or don't get it, or they're different. But when you play with somebody, you get to know them, then you're least likely to want to bug them or make fun of them. So that really helps. And we have one kid who's really shy and kind of whiny a little bit, but he loves that game and he does really, really well. So how long have you been in theater? Like, when did you start?
Well, as a kid, I had every Disney classic memorized. So from then, my grandparents and my parents, they were like, well, he's going to be an actor one day, because I could just memorize things like that. And that, I'd love to perform. I was a ham as a kid. I was a ham. But my first show that I ever did was in 8th grade at St. Mary's School, where I went to elementary and middle school. It was The Wizard of Oz, and I was the Cowardly Lion. So that was kind of my debut, so they say. My debut. And from then on, I got should I say courage? Yes, I got the courage to continue pursuing theater through high school at Fort Walton Beach High School under Krista Whitaker, and then now at UWF. And in the spring, I will have my bachelor's degree for it. So,
excellent. That's so exciting. Well, I got into theater, actually, technically I started when I was a baby. My mom actually brought me, because I was, like I said, from New York, so I was kind of access to a lot of shows and stuff. So she told me, I don't remember, but I was little, but she had me watch, it was Serafina, which was a great theater. But when I got into elementary school, she was really, really good, Miss Jordan, I'll never forget. But I always did these cute little shows and stuff. I think I started out with a horse one year, and then later on it kind of gradually, got into more difficult roles, but it was so much fun. I loved it. And I felt at home on the stage. I don't know about you, but when I talk to people, y'all don't know, but usually if I see you out in person, I'm probably not want to talk. I'm very shy. But then you put me on stage, it's totally different. It's a different world. So that's really cool. I don't know if you guys are like that. I know we talked about being introverts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely an introvert.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's interesting. Well, we have 3 introverts here on stage. And what do you know? We have a commercial break. And when we come back, we're actually going to show you a short skit of what that's going to be out. And it's a pirate to learn to say please. So please stay tuned, okay? Right here on Insight.
When 10,000 students need to be online at the same time, Cox Business is there.
When the big game relies on an even bigger communications network, we're there.
And when students need the same tools and opportunities no matter where they are, we're there. With a $16 billion network and ability to route 50 million calls a day, Cox Business powers education. We're there for your business, too.
Dudes, what would happen if this guy played a bully and this one played the new kid? Bullying is unpredictable, and depending on how you react, you never know what kind of result you'll get.
New kids should just calmly walk away, find an adult or teacher, and speak up.
Together, we can all stop bullying. Speak up.
Go to stopbullying.speakup.com to find out more.
This PSA brought to you in part by the Cox Southeast Region Diversity Council and Cox Communications.
Pick up the pan.
I don't have to. You've got it.
Take the pan.
No, I don't want it. You have it.
It's your job. Take the pan.
Got it.
Oh! Ow! Ow, my head.
Are you okay? You know, pans can be quite painful.
You don't say.
No, I do say.
And after all that, you still need to pick up this pot.
Man, you got hit pretty hard. It's a pan.
Never mind that. Now, I need you to get to work.
Not until you say please.
I'm not going to say please.
So not polite.
Politeness is passé when you're a pirate.
Politeness is never passé.
How do you know?
My grandma told me.
Oh, your grandma, huh?
My grandma did. She said please and thank you are magic words.
Do you know the P word and thank you are magic words? Magic words. Do they lay golden eggs? Oh! Or do they make a wooden boy real? I'm a real boy. Or do they grow a beanstalk all the way to the sky?
Well, no.
Well, then they're not magic words.
Well, there are plenty of reasons why saying these magic words are so important. Okay, both words show that you appreciate something that I've done for you.
Why do I need to appreciate anything?
Okay, if you want me to put away the pail, saying, put away the pails, sounds like a rough demand and being a bully.
So?
But saying, please put away the pail sounds more of a polite request.
I see.
Saying thank you does the same thing.
Does it?
Yes. Okay, let's say you want me to, I help you put away the pails, and you say thank you. That tells me that you appreciate the time and thought and energy I have given you in putting away the pails.
Okay.
Try it.
Try what?
Try saying thank you.
Will it be magical? Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Alaka-balaka-malaka-zabbit, from this hat, I will pull a rat. Turkey! It's not supposed to. You didn't see anything.
Well, my grandma did say they are magic words.
No, look, I will not try to use your grandma's magic words.
You won't?
No, I won't. And if you won't do what you're told, you're fired.
Fired?
On our show, Level Up, we track down all kinds of monsters that escape our favorite video game and bully their way into the real world.
Real life bullying? That's an entirely different problem.
He'll do his best to get on your nerves, but the smartest thing you can do is try and stay calm, walk away, and find a teacher or other adult. Together we can all stop bullying by speaking up.
Go to stopbullying.speakup.com to find out more.
This PSA brought to you in part by the Cox Southeast Region Diversity Council and Cox Communications.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextsstopwrecks.org.
In only 30 minutes a week, you can make a big impact on a child in Okaloosa County. The Okaloosa School District is recruiting mentors at all academic levels throughout the county. Studies show that students who are mentored develop self-confidence, make better grades, and improve their relationships with adults and peers. To learn more about the mentoring program or to sign up, visit OkaloosaSchools.com and click on the Become a Mentor link. You can make an immediate impact on a child and the community by becoming a mentor today.
Hello, we're back on Insight, and I'm Valerie. And what you just saw earlier was a scene from a show, The Pirate Who Learned to Say Please. Whew, that was a good workout. I sure love that. I don't know about you. And maybe if you guys catch us, you actually see if he actually does say the magic word, please. Yeah, we'll see.
Knows?
All right. So right now we're going to talk a little bit more about the show and what your vision was for The Pirate Who Learned to Say Please.
Well, I just really believe in educational theater, and just the fact of being able to take a show and take it to the schools is just so great. So to design a show that's portable like that, yet can bring a message, and that just allows children to experience the cultural arts in a way and form that many just would never have the opportunity to. And so that's kind of the thought behind an educational tour. And the idea for The Pirate Who Learned to Say Please, just this area, it seems like pirates are very popular.
Yes.
And manners are very important. And so the show is really just about having manners, saying manners, using polite conversation. And also, when we are polite, we're less likely to sound like a bully or to be a bully if we're using please and thank you and you're welcome in our everyday language. And so that's really the theme of the message behind The Pirate Who Learns to Say Please.
Excellent. Well, I love the idea. I remember when you called me, like one day I was at work and you're just like, hey, are you busy, such and such? I'm like, huh? And I'm like, but it sounded really cool, when you mentioned about like an educational theater show. Like, so I was like, wow, I've never been part of one. So it just sounded really cool and exciting. So have you ever been part of like an educational tour before, Christian?
Well, in high school, we actually had a section where we would take shows around as seniors to different elementary schools in the county, in Okaloosa County. So that was the experience I had with it. Like I said, this summer I worked with, doing the children's theater shows at Harbor Walk Village and the Village Baytown Wharf. So that kind of prepared me for doing a show like this.
Right.
Just, it's a different setting now. Instead of having kids with their families, it's 160 kids all by themselves.
Yes.
So it's a little different, but I feel prepared for it, and I'm really enjoying it, honestly.
Cool, excellent. Well, I'm having a blast, working with you two, so it's a lot of fun. And I'm pretty sure the parents want to know, yes, it's an education tour, but they want to know, does it work? So have you found any way of showing that this has actually worked, a couple of shows that we've done?
I have twin 7-year-old girls, right? So they're in first grade at Butler Elementary, and they came to the show that we did at Youth Village, and I mean, every now and then, little Bella or little Mia will just go, please. And so, I don't, sure, we use manners in our house and we encourage that, but that's something that's specific to this show, throwing the arm in the air and yelling, please. So, to me, that's proof in the pudding that it works.
Excellent. I'm pretty sure that's what the parents want to hear now. And I've actually heard some of the kids, they've actually approached me. One, because we did that before Halloween, so they did dress up as pirates for Halloween, so we were successful in that area as well. Good. But they have been saying, I've heard them say please and thank you. And I know at the end of the show, the children do the same thing. They just like keep repeating it, thank you, please, thank you, like the whole thing. So have you noticed when you're out and about, when you encounter any kids that you've performed in front of have been impacted by the show?
Yes, they have. They, my sister again is the same age as Nathaniel's kids, and she's done the same thing. And I've done other shows for my sisters before. They're both actually 7, my half sisters, and they you can definitely see a change in them. So approaching manners in a way that we do, I feel really drives the point home, other than saying you've got to say please, you got to do that. Instead, we do it in a fun way that the kids want to say it instead of feeling like they have to. And that is, the magic of theater, that really helps bring that out of them a lot easier.
I loved how you worded that, and then especially since I'm going to school to be a teacher, I think as being an educator, that's actually the magic way too. You want, you don't want to say like you have to know your math or you have to, read this, but you want to get to the point where kids actually want to learn and want to know more. So I think that definitely acting is, key, and I think acting is helpful in all areas. Like you said, even some examples I've seen for teaching, they've actually used some, scenes, or I've seen kids like read parts of a play or something like that. So I'm like, this is interesting how people maybe they're starting to notice like, hey, we do need theater. It's really, really important. So are you planning on doing any other educational tours besides, Pirates to Learn to Say Please, for next year or the year after?
Sure. Next year, I'd love to write a script, and I'm actually collaborating with a friend of mine out of Virginia Beach about something with a bullying message.
Okay.
This one deals with it just a little bit in choosing our words wisely, but it's such a huge issue. We've seen it on the news, even with adults, and so just getting that point across in a fun, exciting way to children, so they can learn the right way to treat each other, or to recognize what a bullying behavior would look like, and how to handle those things. That's my vision for next year.
Well, excellent. That sounds awesome. And the other thing too, since this is an educational tour, so are you actually looking right now for areas for this show to be performed in, and where were you looking at this being performed?
Sure. Well, we've designed the show to travel well. We have our treasure chest and a couple of boxes and costumes, so we travel very easily. So anywhere in the Okaloosa, Walton, Santa Rosa, anywhere in this area, we're happy to come to. And whether churches, community organizations, libraries, schools, anywhere that would want a fun 30 to 45 minute experience for first, second, third graders, elementary aged children.
Excellent. So if, let's say that watching the show, we have some people interested, I hope, who's interested in, having this performed, what would they have to do in order to get this show performed at where they want it to be performed at?
Well, they can just call us or
Okay.
email us. You can call us at 850-687-1637. I'm sure it's on the screen. And or our email address is info@emeraldcoasttheater.org.
Oh, excellent. Well, excited about that, and I hope you give us a call, and we'll see you in our full pirate outfit, and we hope to teach your children on saying please and thank you and being polite. Well, it's really interesting, talking about, this company and your vision and doing that. And you also work as a professor, correct?
I do.
So what do you do, being a professor at University of West Florida, correct? So what kind of
Yes.
things do you do there?
Over there, I teach improvisation, improvisational acting. I teach directing, acting 1 and acting 3. And we're currently in rehearsals right now, and I'm directing A Christmas Carol.
Okay. Well, excellent. So you heard it. So also that will be shown, when is that going to be?
That is the first 2 weekends in December.
Okay, so if you're interested in seeing that show, it will be at University of West Florida. So I believe that's like a year annual thing. So if you haven't seen it before, feel free to go and see the show. The students, I've been part of the theater group at the University of West Florida. It's a lot of fun, learned a lot. I know you said you're in the schools, in elementary schools. Has any of the kids who's been part of those said, hey, I actually want to do this, or want to pursue acting? Have you ever encountered kids like that?
Especially in my acting classes, like at Destin Elementary. I've had a little boy, Gabe. He's been a part of every class and every camp that I've done that's within his age group. Also, that's just really enjoying it and focused in on those things. Thinking of that class, there's a little girl that she usually is a part of the Boys and Girls Clubs as well. And one of the leaders from the club came to me about 2 weeks ago and mentioned her name, and she said, this girl has always been very shy and kind of into herself a little bit. And she said, but since she's been taking drama class with you and playing all the theater games and relating, she's seen her relate to kids in Boys and Girls Club better than before. So it's fun to see, and it's fun to see a child catch the vision and the confidence and the not necessarily stars in their eyes, but the excitement of live theater.
Well, excellent. Well, it's really great to hear, how theater, can be a good impact on your life and people around you. So, Christian, how has theater helped you as far as in your life, or has it improved or whatever?
Of course, yeah. It's definitely broken me out of my shell in middle school and even in high school. I was kind of reserved. I'm kind of closed in, but now, as Nathaniel can attest, I'm not that at all. We're introverts. I'm a little more extroverted now, and it really helps in all aspects, honestly, of life. You have so much more self-confidence. You're able to speak confidently in front of people,
right,
which is key, to anything really. No matter what you're going into, theater, the arts, no matter what it is, the arts can definitely help you in whatever field you're pursuing. It just so happens my field is the arts. So it's really improved that for me. It's made me a much more confident person and a much more confident actor and just a better all-around individual, I think.
That's excellent. For me, it comes to actually remembering lines. Every time I see a new script that I have to remember, I always look at it like, oh my gosh, how on earth am I going to actually remember all of this? Especially with your script, it's, as you can see some of it, it was a tongue twister, and I couldn't even say, form any words. But the funny thing is, actually helped me because I've always slurred my words. I've always had that, issue for a while. But even with this show, it's funny how you say it's an educational tour for children, but in a way, it's an educational tour, I think, for us actors too. It's helped me even with pronouncing the words and everything, and also remembering the lines and being confident about it. So, I think it's helped everybody, all around. So I love that. So again, if you're interested in seeing this show, or even wanted to know more about the Emerald Coast Theater Company, if you have a child who's hey, wants to be in drama or wants to learn more about that, or you're an actor and you're adult and you're actually interested too, just go ahead and contact Nathaniel Fisher. And can you just say your contact information one more time, please?
Sure. My phone number is 850-687-1637. And my email address is info@emeraldcoasttheater.org.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you for being on the show and performing with me.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching here on Insight.